Deep in the whispering woods, magic danced. The air was thick with enchantment, and every step taken felt like a journey into a fairy tale. The trees whispered secrets to those who would listen, and the ground beneath was soft with moss, inviting travelers to explore its mysteries. Sunbeams painted the leaves gold and red. The forest was alive with color, each leaf a masterpiece of nature's palette. The sunlight filtered through the canopy, creating a mosaic of light and shadow on the forest floor. It was a sight that could take one's breath away, a reminder of the beauty that exists in the world. Little animals peeked from cozy homes, squirrels chattered from the treetops, and rabbits darted through the underbrush. Birds sang sweet melodies, filling the air with their songs. Each creature played its part in the symphony of the forest, contributing to the magic that made the Whispering Woods so special. This was a place of wonder, where anything could happen. Legends spoke of ancient spirits that roamed the woods, protecting its secrets. It was said that if you listened closely, you could hear the whispers of the trees, sharing tales of old. The forest was a living, breathing entity, full of life and mystery. One sunny morning, a tiny deer with big brown eyes took a wrong turn. His name was Fawn, and he was known for his curious nature. He loved to explore, always eager to discover new things. But on this particular day, his curiosity led him astray. His name was Fawn, and he was following a butterfly, its wings like stained glass. The butterfly was a dazzling creature, its wings shimmering in the sunlight. Fawn was mesmerized by its beauty, unable to resist the urge to follow it. He pranced through the forest, his eyes fixed on the delicate insect. Oh, how he loved to chase butterflies. It was one of his favorite pastimes. The way they fluttered and danced through the air filled him with joy. He would leap and bound, trying to catch them, though he never did. It was the chase that thrilled him, the feeling of freedom and excitement. But the butterfly flitted deeper and deeper into the woods. Fawn followed without hesitation, his heart racing with anticipation. He didn't notice the familiar paths fading away, replaced by unknown terrain. The forest grew denser, the trees taller and more imposing. But Fawn was too entranced to care. Fawn didn't notice the shadows growing longer. The day was slipping away, and the forest was beginning to change. The light that once bathed the woods in a golden glow was now dimming, casting eerie shadows. The once welcoming forest now seemed mysterious and a bit foreboding. He didn't see the sun starting to set. The sky was painted with hues of orange and pink, signaling the end of the day. But Fawn's focus was solely on the butterfly. He was oblivious to the changing world around him, lost in his own little adventure. All he saw was the beautiful butterfly. Its wings were like a beacon, guiding him deeper into the unknown. Fawn's heart was light, filled with the simple joy of the chase. Little did he know, his adventure was just beginning, and the Whispering Woods had many more secrets to reveal.
Mama, where are you? Mama, I can't find you!
The butterfly disappeared into a thicket of bright blue flowers. Its delicate wings fluttered gracefully, catching the sunlight as it vanished among the petals. Fawn poked his nose in after it, but the butterfly was gone. He sniffed the air, hoping to catch a hint of its sweet scent, but all he could smell were the flowers. Fawn took a step back, his heart suddenly thumping. Where was his mother? Panic started to rise within him as he realized he was alone. Where were his brothers and sisters? They had been right there with him just moments ago, grazing peacefully in the meadow. Fawn had never been alone in the woods before. The towering trees seemed to close in on him, their branches whispering secrets he couldn't understand. He called out, a tiny, scared sound. "Mama, where are you?" His voice echoed through the forest, but there was no response. The forest seemed to grow quiet around him. The usual sounds of rustling leaves and chirping birds were absent, replaced by an eerie silence. The shadows stretched out like long fingers, reaching towards him as the sun began to set. Each shadow seemed to move with a life of its own, making the forest feel even more menacing. Fawn felt a tear roll down his cheek. He had never felt so scared and alone before. The tear sparkled in the fading light, a tiny beacon of his sadness. He was lost and all alone. The vast forest, which had always been a place of adventure and wonder, now felt like a labyrinth of shadows and fears. Fawn took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. He knew he had to be brave and find his way back to his family. With a determined look in his eyes, he took a cautious step forward, hoping that each step would bring him closer to home.
Little one, why are you crying?
I followed a butterfly and now I can't find my way home.
Unbeknownst to Fawn, a pair of bright eyes had been watching him. Finley the fox was known throughout the woods for his kindness. He saw Fawn's distress and knew he had to help. Finley crept closer, his orange fur blending with the fallen leaves. Fawn jumped, startled. He'd never spoken to a fox before, but Finley's eyes were warm and friendly.
Don't worry, little one, I know these woods like the back of my paw. We'll find your family.
Finley listened patiently as Fawn poured out his tale. When he was finished, Finley smiled, and so their adventure began. They walked through fields of wildflowers taller than Fawn. They climbed over fallen logs covered in mossy blankets. They even crossed a rushing river by hopping across smooth stones. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, they came across a dark cave. Strange whispers seemed to emanate from within, sending shivers down Fawn's spine.
What's in there?
Fawn asked, his voice trembling.
It sounds scary.
It's just the wind playing tricks, little one.
Finley chuckled, but even he sounded a little uneasy.
But we should be careful. Legend has it that a mischievous spirit lives in this cave.
Mustering their courage, they entered the cave. It was darker than Fawn had imagined, and the whispers seemed to grow louder, swirling around them like phantom voices.
Look, what's that?
Suddenly, Fawn spotted a faint light glimmering in the distance. As they drew closer, the light grew stronger, revealing a beautiful crystal, its surface shimmering with 1,000 colors. The whispers died down, replaced by a peaceful silence. The crystal emitted a warm, comforting glow, bathing the cave in its gentle light. And then, something magical happened. The crystal began to pulse, and an image flickered to life above it, an image of a clearing bathed in moonlight.
It's my family! The crystal showed us the way!
It seems the spirit of the cave is kind after all. It showed us the way.
Following the crystal's guidance, they found their way out of the cave and into the night. The moon, round and silver, lit their path as they raced towards the clearing. And there, in the clearing bathed in moonlight, was Fawn's family. He had never been so happy to see them. He rushed into his mother's legs, feeling her warm tongue lick his face.
Thank you, Finley. You helped me find my way home.
Finley smiled. His heart was filled with warmth as he looked at the little fawn. It had been a long day, but seeing the joy in the young deer's eyes made it all worthwhile. Finley had always believed in the power of kindness, and today was just another testament to that belief.
It was my pleasure, little one. Helping others is what makes the world a better place. Remember, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. The forest is a big place, but with kindness, it feels a lot smaller and more connected. Remember, even in the deepest woods, kindness can light the way. It's like a beacon that guides us through the darkest times. Whenever you feel lost or scared, just think of the kindness you've received and let it guide you.
And with a wink, he turned and disappeared into the shadows, leaving behind a sense of hope and warmth. The forest seemed a little less intimidating now, and the shadows not as dark. Finley's presence had a way of making everything seem brighter, leaving Fawn safe and sound with his family. The reunion was filled with joy and relief. The Fawn's family had been worried sick, but now they were all together again, thanks to Finley's kindness. It was a moment of pure happiness and gratitude. From that day forward, Fawn never forgot the kind fox who had helped him. He often thought about the lessons he had learned and how he could apply them in his own life. The forest was full of challenges, but with kindness he felt ready to face them all. He learned that even though the world could be a big and scary place, there was always a way to make it feel smaller and more manageable. Kindness was the key. It was the thread that connected all living beings, making the forest a community rather than just a collection of trees and animals. There was always kindness to be found, if you knew where to look. Sometimes it was in the smallest gestures, like a smile or a helping hand. Other times it was in grand acts of bravery and selflessness. But no matter the form, kindness was always there, waiting to be discovered, if you knew where to look. And once you found it, it was like finding a treasure. It enriched your life and made you want to share it with others. The more kindness you gave, the more you received in return. It was a beautiful cycle that made the world a better place. And most importantly, he learned that true friends were always there to help, no matter how lost you might feel. They were the ones who stood by you in times of need, offering support and comfort. With friends like that, you were never truly alone, no matter how lost you might feel. The forest was a big place, but with friends and kindness, it felt like home, and that was the most important lesson of all. Kindness matters, and it always will.